Hello, hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapa Sikamura. So, Angelo Agrizzi is finally done with his testimony. For me, he was actually the most interesting and informative person to appear before the Zondo Commission. Like, we knew about the people that he mentioned, but in terms of details, yeah, it was breathtaking to say the least, okay? So, Angelo Agrizzi is the former Chief Operating Officer of Bosasa, and he was also Gavin Watson, Bosasa CEO's right-hand man. So we know from Agrizzi that Bosasa actually captured politicians and government departments, in particular the Department of Correctional Services, where the likes of Mnike Lwangele, Tom Moyani, Petra Gillingham were bribed for multiple tenders. Bosasa would actually get the opportunity to scope out the prisons, right, and draft reports for the corrupt officials, who would then in turn use those reports to write the specifications of the tenders. So Bosasa would not only have the advantage of having bribed the officials, but because they drafted the reports, they would be equipped with the knowledge of the tenders, like what was required. So therefore, they would be accurate in their bidding. Okay, so other politicians that were implicated in Agrizzi's testimony include Vincent Smith, former President Jacob Zuma, Dudu Myeni, Nomvula Mokonyane, Regine Kabinde, and that's just some of the people. Nomvula Mokonyane was allegedly paid 50,000 rands every month by Bosasa. Her house was maintained. They paid for family funerals, okay, and she also got them to fund certain Siangoba rallies, as well as paid for that cake on Ubaba's 72nd birthday. Okay, like the groceries are strange and way off. However, the weirdest Nomvula Mukonyane and Bosasa's story was when she got Bosasa to do an analysis on the security at South African hospitals. They compiled a report for her at the cost of 2 million rands. She never paid them, and then she took that report allegedly and gave it to Regine Kabinde, who then used it in a bid for a tender, right, and submitted it as his own. Dudu Myeni, on the other hand, allegedly received 300,000 rands on behalf of Ubaba from Bosasa, and in turn, she and Ubaba laid off the heat in terms of the criminal investigations into Bosasa by the NPA and the Hawks. How they got their hands on this money is that they would invoice, a certain company like AA Wholesalers, Jumbo Liquor Wholesalers, Equal Trade and the likes, and they would inflate the prices of the services or the products that they bought, and in turn these companies would take a commission, right, and then pay the rest back to Watson and his people. They would also take money from the tuck shops that they ran at, the different mining hostels, as well as Lindela Repatriation Center, and then they would bank like 10 to 15% of that money as the actual sale. However, the most disgusting form of fraud that they committed was when they created fictitious checks as employee death benefits. And their BEE status completely misrepresented. Journalists that were implicated include a guy by the name of Bongs, Ntuli, Pinky Kovani, and the media consultants that were implicated include Benedicta Dube as well as Stephen Laufer. And now they were used to combat the negative press that Bosasa was getting and to discredit those journalists that were exposing Bosasa. Okay, according to Agrizzi, Bason was allegedly threatened by Bosasa. I actually think that this is actually the only part of Agrizzi's testimony that I am having trouble with believing. Okay, I don't think that these are the only journalists, and Adrian Basson's part in all of this to me is just a little bit too suspect. Agrizzi said that he decided to leave Bosasa because he was just tired of this whole bribery life. Okay, then he had it on good authority that Gavin Watson was actually trying to pin everything on him. That's when he got sick. He was in a coma, and then allegedly Gavin Watson claimed a life policy in Agrizzi's name. Yeah, I think like, that's probably when he was like, no, this guy is actually going to try and pin everything on me, so I should probably come out and say everything. But yeah, you know what? I'm actually glad that everything is out in the open and we know what we know. However, I think maybe we also deserve a commission into the media, because even Agrizzi couldn't be honest about, the entirety of the media's involvement in corruption and state capture, etc. So yeah, no, Sibonga, a truth. Thank you very much. For the most part, or at least, some of the stuff that you divulged. Anyways, my name is Mapasika. Mura is a talent to serve humanity, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.